Sorry, I didn't know why I was... Okay, now I'm not getting any feedback. Sorry for the delay. Matt and I had to take care of the laundry, and we were also at the first St. Mary's Fish Fry of the season during Lent. So, good to be on. And, looks like, so I was going all over the place. Started all the way down in started the week in started the week in Ithaca, and then went down to Corning and Elmira. Then I had to go up to then I had to go all the way to Saratoga Springs and Glens Falls, and back down to Elmira. It was just busy. I know it's good to make money and whatnot, but to trying to keep track of all the miles, all the gas in the car and whatnot. I know it's very tough, but just don't really know exactly why. Well, I do know why I'm doing this, because I like to travel. I like to do a variety of jobs, and I know it's a little bit. Some of the travel is a little bit too daunting, but that's why I like doing this, because not only am I the New York State road warrior, but I get to do a variety of certain things, and there are times when I just try to. I try my best at everything that I do, and there are times when I succeed, and there are other times when I fail, and I feel like the times when I fail, though, it's a little bit stressful on my part, because like, take for example Tuesday, for instance. I went all the way to Queensbury to work on a printer, but I was not familiar with that piece of equipment before, and so I ended up, I didn't know how to put the spring together. Everything else seemed to be working, but just I was working inside with the internal parts, and I just couldn't didn't know exactly what I was doing. I couldn't put the spring back on, so it was tough. It was a tough day at work to try to get the spring to go on. Otherwise, I knew what I was doing, but I'm just talking here about the work and some of the benefits of the travel, but also some of the drawbacks, and especially when I'm trying to learn something new, or I'm dealing with a new piece of equipment that I'm not very familiar with. Like today, for example, I was upgrading the bill payment kiosk at the Verizon store in Watertown, and I ended up, this was my first time, and thankfully there was somebody who was going to help me when I did it, to talk me through the steps, but I just don't know. If I didn't have that support, I probably wouldn't have been able to do it. I know there are certain jobs. I know that there are certain jobs you can't do, or at least you have to learn, and it's not going to take you overnight to do it. I try to be an adaptable learner, and I also try to be somebody who takes, or at least learns from. Somebody who's very resourceful, who tries to learn exactly as much as I can going into it, as well as on the job, trying to find some sort of resource, or trying to find some sort of way to get some help. And if I don't take the jobs that I don't really know how to do, and because there are some jobs that I am comfortable with doing, other jobs that I am not, and that's just a long way of saying I'm learning while doing this business, and it's not easy. Okay. We'll have more fun topics too. We'll have more lighthearted conversation coming up later in the show. Again, sorry for being late. Trying to get the laundry done with Matt, and also going to the fish fry. And before we move on, I do want to acknowledge the fact that we didn't that we did witness another national tragedy back on Valentine's Day. Unfortunately, on the 6th anniversary of the... Okay, hold on 1 second. The 6th anniversary of the Parkland, Florida shooting, we also had a mass shooting at the Kansas City Super Bowl parade. You have a blank screen, Elizabeth. You were not able to hear or see everything, or at least what I just discussed. Okay, that's probably not a good sign. Okay. Refresh. You have to refresh the page to get this. Yep. You have to refresh the page to get to the screen. Perfect opportunity to move on and go take a break and then come back. Take a break and then come back. Okay, testing. 1, 2, 3. Before I go any further,
Okay, testing.
Hold on once. Before I go any further, just want to make sure that we have no more outstanding technical issues like we did the last time. You can all see and hear me live without any difficulty. Is that correct? Please let me know in the chat so that I have a better understanding of what everybody is experiencing. Okay, so Elizabeth can hear and see me. Probably the R's can. Waiting for their confirmation. I'm assuming that Mom can. So I apologize for that. If you ever have any difficulties again, please let me know. And as I try to get more listeners, or anyway, I've done a lot of traveling, and instead of my disorganized mumbling, we're going to try. Looks like Mom has signed on twice. Okay, that's okay. So today I was working up in Watertown, and up there near Watertown is the Salmon Run Mall. And every time I go up to near Loudonville or Watertown, I always want to check out the Salmon Run Mall because if you remember this little machine here, and as you notice here, there's something different about this machine.
My favorite machine again. The only difference is the balls aren't moving.
Did you notice the balls
would be moving?
This is the first.
Through all these different traps here.
Yeah, this is the first. This is the first I've noticed. Normally there would be balls moving about through this thing and going through all of the contraptions and whatnot, but this is the first time ever that I've discovered that the only moving part was that chain. The balls aren't moving. And I'm wondering if this machine was today maybe defective, or maybe didn't really have, or obviously wasn't working right. And I don't really know. That's a mystery to me, because I would have thought the balls would always be moving, but I guess there's a period of time when the machine it doesn't quite work. It's out of service. So I was a little bit disappointed to find that the balls in this machine weren't moving, because that's the fun of it. I mean, that's the fun of it, to see all those balls moving across all those different parts there. It's actually quite a sight to see. So I was a little bit disappointed that the balls in this machine weren't moving. Again, this is up at the Salmon Run Mall in Watertown, where I happen to be working today, and unfortunately the balls weren't moving. So that's unfortunate, but I'm hoping the next time I go back and see it, the balls will be moving again. And let's play a little bit of a game. If anybody can guess where this is. And this is not an archived photo. This was actually taken about yesterday. Who knows where this? Who knows where this is? It's now the Back on Track Cafe, and there's actually a little bit of a plaque behind it. You can't see what it says, but and I only bring this to your attention because before this used to be, obviously we all know what this is, but before it became the Back on Track Cafe, it was actually in recent years, and I mean recent years, like a few years ago, 1 to 2 years ago, this actually was somebody's home. It was a private residence. It was not used as a business, so I'm personally glad to see that it's now becoming a business again. And yes, it is. Yes, was the depot in Broadalbin. Used to be the depot, and then it became Station Antiques, and then it became a cafe. It became the Java Junction Cafe from I want to say 2005 till about 2013, and then somebody else bought it. It was the Choo Choo, and then it was Purdy's. Up until maybe, I want to say, 16, 17, 18. Then it became a private residence, and as of recently, it's now the Back on Track Cafe. And behind it, you'll see there's a plaque about this place. It says Broadalbin Depot. Many businesses made across it. Well, here it is. Store. Holding many businesses over the years, the depot sits at the end of its 6-mile spur that connected the old railroad, FJ and G, Fulton, Johnstown, and Gloversville. The service ran from 1895 to 1990, so almost 100 years, and then they stopped. So that's incredible. And it's also interesting to know that, and I don't have a picture of it, but nobody's talking in the background. 85, the house to the right of 85 North Main Street, so that's 87 North Main Street. Let me see if I can pull up an archived picture of what I'm talking about. But let me see if I can try to grab an archived photo of where I'm referring to. That is now a property listed on Airbnb. So let me going through my archived photos here. Let me try to pull it up, and this is all August. I was there in September. There in September. I know I have footage from. I know I have archived. Oh, here, archived photos here. So not here. 87. Okay. Sorry as I try to pawn through all of these pictures here. Oh yes, so this house. This is 87 North Main Street, and which was on the right-hand side of 85 North Main Street. So, for context, there is 85, and then there is to the right of it is 80. To the right of it is 87. Sorry if I'm not able to get much of. Alright, so here is 85, that's the driveway, then here's 87. What I recently discovered was that the house next door at 87, they have has two apartments inside, and you can actually stay in it on Airbnb. So, I am probably echoing because I don't have. They must have put it in the bathroom when Grandma and Grandpa had the store. There was no bath. There was no bathroom. Had the store. There was no. Okay, I just heard myself, and I'm hearing myself fine on this end. I'm sorry if there's any
I'm hearing myself fine on this end. I'm sorry if there's any.
If I'm better now, please let me know. I don't know exactly what may be causing that. I don't hear any. So far, I don't hear any echoes, and
I don't hear any. So far, I don't hear any echoes.
You might have to mute. Well, I muted as I talk, so I don't hear any echoes. I don't know how you're hearing any. Okay, that's better for.
Know how you're hearing any.
Because I'm not hearing. Right now, I should have some headphones on as I listen, as I talk. But right now, I don't hear myself echo. Rachel, Ron, and Raleigh. I don't know if it's better now.
Myself echo.
I haven't really changed much. I didn't really change any of the settings. So, if you're getting echoes, then please, if you're still getting echoes, please let me know. Or any background noise, because right now I'm not hearing any background noise, and I apologize for that. I wish there were ways to improve the technical quality or resolve any of the technical difficulties that you're having, and I sincerely apologize for any technical difficulties that you're experiencing during the show. And if I don't hear about them, then I don't catch them, and I'm not able to improve on or fix any of the issues. So I apologize if you're still hearing echoes. And that, if I put the mouth closer to the microphone, maybe that does something. I don't really know.
If I put the mouth closer to the microphone, maybe that does something.
I don't really know. But I've moved my mouth away from the microphone. And just wanted to again let you know that the house next door here at 87 North Main Street, that this house here, which was to the right of Grandma and Grandpa's old house, it has 2 apartment units, and it's currently listed on Airbnb. So technically, if anybody wanted to stay here, yeah, because I have to move I have to strike a balance between my mouth placement with the microphone, and also just very, very okay. But now, if I put the mouth closer to the microphone, then then you're able to hear me better. And it's not like a radio studio where the microphone is hanging from a stand, and you don't have to hold it the whole time. So and that's also a reason why I need to start wearing headphones. Last week, between shows, I actually experimented a little bit between wearing headphones and hearing myself speak as I do this versus when I'm just talking, I have everything muted and I'm not really able to hear myself speak over the air, and that to an extent means I'm really not able to hear what other people, I'm not able to hear what you, the listeners, are actually, yes, that's what I'm trying to do, and hopefully the way I'm talking now is a little bit better. I'll switch this back over to here. I'm trying not to peek at the red levels as I move my mouth closer to the mic and I adjust the audio settings. Things change, and I'm a little bit, and I'm trying to experiment with what the best settings are, and it also depends on where your YouTube
It
also depends on where your YouTube player is. You also want to watch your YouTube player's volume to make sure that your YouTube player's volume is turned up all the way. Otherwise, you may not be able to hear me as well. And I'm going to try to play with these microphone settings, play with these audio settings to achieve the right balance. So please let me know as I do this test, as I'm just stalling here while I adjust the microphone, the audio settings. Is the quality any better, or is it getting worse, or is it the same, or is it, or whatever it is? So, I sincerely apologize. I sincerely apologize for the audio issues you're getting. It seems like Rachel, Rod, and Raleigh, you're experiencing the most level of difficulties. At least if you're able to. I don't know if you're listening to the phone, or if you're listening through the through a computer or a laptop. That also could make a difference. And just trying to be able to find a medium here, and again, if somehow I'm still on the phone with my... Oh, okay. I'm glad that you fixed it. Yep. When you're on the phone with somebody, it's... I've never actually, even as a listener, I've never actually tried listening to the show and then also talking on the phone at the same time. So quickly, I'm going to go back over this. So now that you can actually hear and see. So this 87 North Main Street, which is located, it's out of picture, but 87 North Main Street, which is located on the right-hand side of, here's Grandma and Grandpa's driveway, and then here is 87 North Main Street. That is a property on Airbnb. So that means you could actually go on Airbnb and stay overnight in one of the two apartments. And this was quite recent. I know that the new owner just took over the place, and they were able to renovate the inside. So didn't really think that would actually be possible. And then we'll show you the depot. So let's quickly go back and show you the depot. Or use what used to be the depot. And so this was the depot. And then it became another antique shop. And then later it became a cafe. But as of recently, like 2017, 2018, it was just somebody's home. And then no guests could actually go into it until I think maybe 2021, 22, or 23, when the owners decided to turn it into another cafe called Back on Track. This was yesterday, and I wasn't able to go in because they were closed at the time. But if they're open when I come back in, if they're open when I'm back there, might try to go back in. And you notice that there's a new plaque here that essentially says, holding many businesses over the years, the depot sits at the end of the 6-mile spur that connected the FJ&G rail service. And it was in service from 1895 to 1990, so I would imagine shortly after Grandma and Grandpa, so shortly after the rail service ended, Grandma and Grandpa bought the depot and turned it into an antique place. So, so you can see I've been all over. Broadalbin, Watertown, and it's quite interesting. I mean, I'd love to hear your memories of the depot. And now that Mom said There was no bathroom, so they must have put a bathroom in. We're going to take a quick break and come back, talk some more. Glad the audio issues are fixed on your end. And stay tuned, we'll be back. Okay, because Elizabeth is falling asleep and I want the opportunity for everybody to participate, we are going to move quickly into the bumper dump song, and we're just going to do one song tonight. I had three prepared, but I've heard a lot of these. I actually heard this one pregame for the Super Bowl, actually. Gwen Stefani and Blake Shelton did a TikTok tailgate. It was streamed exclusively on Peacock. I mean, not Peacock, TikTok, and they debuted a new song together. They are a married couple, I believe, or at least third item. So please enjoy or not enjoy, make your voice heard on this next song. It's called Purple Irises, and it's from Gwen Stefani and Blake Shelton. Bumper or Dumper starts now. Someone comes along. I want to say the recorded version is much better than the live version, and I only say this because I want to say the recorded version is much better. The recorded version is much better than the live version, only because when I heard her performing live for the Super Bowl, I mean she can still sing, but I think her vocal quality has diminished over the years. It's not like what she was back in the '90s or in 2005. Yes, the new Beyonce song. That's quite interesting how Beyonce's going country, kind of like the reverse version of Taylor Swift. And I know we've heard a lot of her name over the last couple of weeks because of the Super Bowl. And we need to close, obviously, with giving our thoughts and prayers to the victims. In case you haven't heard, the Super Bowl parade in Kansas City ended in tragedy. on Wednesday and Valentine's Day when two suspects armed went on a deadly shooting spree. So we'll keep the victims in our thoughts and prayers, and we'll see if there's any developments on that. But in the meantime, we're gonna mazel tov and sign off. And that's the new catchphrase I just came up with. And instead of, because we got a Forever Living classic coming up, gotta play that instead of playing the winning Bump or Dump song, which unanimous, if I could talk tonight, unanimously won the votes. We will be back. Thank you very much. I wonder if she wished to be the queen of music, so now she's trying to show everyone that you can. Yes, exactly. It'll be interesting. It'll be interesting to see the dynamics that come up between, or the dramas, the conflict that come up between two of the most powerful women in the music industry, in the music world today, Beyonce versus Taylor Swift. We will see you. Used to be. If she used to be. Now it's an ongoing. I think there's going to be a fight. There's going to be some clashes probably between not just the artists but the fans. We will see you next week, and we got some treats in store for you. Or at least I don't know. We'll see. Thank you very much for tuning in on the short notice, and I try to get some more listeners, and we'll shut the lights off. Again, please stay tuned for a Forever Living classic hit, and good night. Forever Living classic hit, and this is a Forever Living classic hit. Rachel, take it away.
This radio station.